Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 12 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a Q&A. Now, this is where I take all the questions that you've asked over the course of the week, and I try to answer them to the best of my ability. As you can see, I'm back in the UK, so everybody who came over to see me when I was at Penguin Magic, thank you so much. I had a great time meeting you. I had a great time seeing you. Hope you had a good time as well. More about that at some point in the future. First of all, if you've never seen a Q&A before, the idea is simple. I'm going to take all the questions that you've asked over the course of the week and answer them. Now, you want to try and get these questions into me by about a Monday or a Tuesday. I typically film this thing on a Tuesday, sometimes a Wednesday. But if you want to guarantee to get your questions answered, drop them into me by Monday at the latest. Also, don't forget, I don't read these questions beforehand. You're getting my raw, unfiltered opinions. If I think a question would take too long to answer on this, I will let you know, and I will try to answer it on a video specifically for that question. Outside of that, it's the time of the week again where I say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you to every single person that's liked, subscribed, watched a video. Magic TV is not an easy thing to keep up with, especially when I'm traveling all over the world. And it's made possible by people like you guys giving feedback as to how much you enjoyed the channel. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I hope you have a great Sunday. And without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. So here we go. It's time for this week's Q&A. So the first question is from Happy Pancakes, who says, "Hi Craig, thanks for all your content. You are more than welcome. Love the new Magic News segment. It's hitting it out of the park. Thank you very much." So first question, I've been trying to reach you through email. Can you please repeat your email address one more time so I can make sure you have the correct email address? Yeah, it's craig@magictv.org, CRAIG @magictv.org. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. At the moment, my time management is pretty good. And at the moment, even I'm just like hanging on by a thread. It's a combination of, a couple of staffing issues, combination of coming into December, filming and being away with Penguin, doing some stuff with Murphy's. I'm all over the place. If I don't see an email, please just send me another email. I won't be offended. And also the other thing you can do is you can loop in info@magictv.org. Now that is Michael's email address, or he manages that email address. And if you sent a couple for me and I've not replied, looping in Michael, he'll then give me a nudge and let me know about it if I've missed it. But if I have missed it, I'm very sorry. I'm literally all over the place at the moment. Just send me another email and I promise I'll get back to you. Okay, we've got a second question from Happy Pancakes, who says, when using the Orphic wallet, which you have said many times is the best wallet ever produced. This is, right, I've just come back from doing a motivational speaking gig. So I came back into the country yesterday, got back in yesterday. What did I do yesterday? I can't even remember. I've been all over the place. But anyway, today I left early in the morning to do a motivational speaking gig. I do a lot of motivational speaking mixed with magic, and I've just come back. This is the jacket I was wearing. I've come straight down here to film, and here is my Orphic wallet with my everyday cards in it. It's got my Magic Circle membership card there. It's got, something you guys shouldn't see. I got a load of stuff. This is my regular everyday wallet. Orphic genuinely is my everyday wallet. Yes, you are correct. It's the best magic wallet it's ever produced, or a peak wallet. What is a subtle way to get the peak without the spectators getting suspicious? And what's the good rationale for putting the drawing of the word they wrote down into the wallet? It's a great question. This really should be a longer video. Obviously, I'm not giving too much away with the Orphic wallet if I say to you that the peak is gotten here. You get it inside. So you put and this is one of the reasons I love the peak on the Orphic wallet, because the thing that you're peaking, the billet or the business card, is going into this section here, but then you're getting the peak on the inside. So there's a couple of different ways that you can go with this. And one of my favourite ways is to peak it without actually making people aware that you've peaked it. So the way to do that is to say, look, I'm going to, you get them to write whatever down. We'll get about the justification in a minute. But you get them to write something down. You get them to put it back in, so it goes back into the wallet. You can then say, hold your hand out. Now, as I say, hold your hand out, I'm getting the peak right there. Look, boom, the peak is getting right there. as I point to them and say, do me a favour, hold your hand out, I've got the peak. It's that quick. So it doesn't look, a lot of people say to me, oh, the problem with the Orphic wallet is you have to open up the wallet to get something else back out, and that's when you get the peak. Well, you don't have to. You can put something in there and then just say, hold your hand out for me. And in that action, I've got the peak. I'm staring at it, plain as day, but nobody can see anything. And I can get that peak as well while I put the wallet away in my pocket. I can get that peak as well. I can even get it off the table because, and all of this stuff, I'm not too sure it's been a long time since I saw the tutorial, but you can also get it off the table because if you put the business card in there, right, you can turn this whole thing over and you can literally just say, now remember, you as I say, you can remember, so you have it this way. So the business card is there. You say, now remember, you wrote something down on here from the very beginning, right? And in that action, I'm staring directly at the information as I'm apparently gesturing to them. So you don't have to open the wallet back out to get something else if you don't want to. That's not important. You can get it in so many different ways. But opening the wallet back up again, that's not an issue as long as you justify it. I kind of think it a little bit like a pocket switch. With a pocket switch, if you just go into your pockets for no reason, it becomes suspicious. But if you tell them you're going into your pockets first, it becomes very natural. So if I say, I need something else for my wallet, I need something else for my pockets, boom, that justifies the trip into the pockets perfectly. It's the same with this. If I just say, I'm going to get one more business card, if they see you open up the wallet to take out a business card and put it down and they do something on it and you put it away and then you have built-in time misdirection and you say, actually, I'm going to need one more business card. Done. The peak's done. It's that quick. I don't have to worry about it. It's done. And nobody will notice anything. If you don't make a big deal of it, nobody will notice anything. It becomes a big deal if you make a big deal. If you open it up and go, oh, right, okay, yep, got that, no problem, yep. But there's so many different ways to get the peak with the Orphic wallet. Now, in terms of your justification for putting the business card or the pillet back in the wallet, well, there's a few different reasons to do that. I think that this is one of those questions that always gets bandied around by mentalists. And it's a valid question, it really is. But honestly, I just put it in there a lot of the time. So I'll have somebody write something down on a business card. I'll put it back in the wallet. I'll just say, I'm going to pop that there for a second. In fact, can you do me a favor? Can you hold your hand out for me? Got the peak. Great, hold that in between your hands. Perfect. Now it's implied that the reason it's in the wallet and the wallet's in their hand so they can't see anything. And you can even big that up. So you can say, have you got it? Yeah, I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to put it in here out of the way. Okay, fantastic. Can you hold your hand out for me? Great. Excellent. Just hold that in between your hands. So it can be just as simple as I'm going to put it in there so I can't see it. And there's nothing wrong with that. That works absolutely fine. It's up to you. I played around. I never ended up doing anything with this. It was something I was playing around with because I don't know if you know, I was on the tutorial for the Orphic wallet. And at the time I was playing around with having 3 or 4 business cards in there, right? And showing that they're all blank. And then having them take one, getting them to write whatever on there. And then as they're writing something on those, you palm one of the other business cards off. So it looks like you've still got a packet of business cards here. So from their point of view, you took out 4 business cards and you have them take one. You say they're all blank, but just take one of these for me, will you? Great, palmed, holding these in middle grip. Great, write something on there. Have you done that? Great. Just pop it back on top of the wallet. Just pop it back on top. Excellent. And you put the entire stack over there. Now, as you put the stack over there, you're loading the palmed business card on top. So they think the business card is on top of the stack, but in actual fact, it's a dummy one. You then say, I tell you what, we're going to take your business card and just put it over there. The thing that you've written on there, we're going to put it over there. And I'm going to just, we don't need the other 3. I'm going to put the other 3 away. So now you can flash the bottom. You can even do like a mini frustration count if you want to. But the goal is, as you show these 3 other business cards, the one with the writing on, you're going to get to the bottom. And then you just put those back away. And there, you just put them back away. And now you've got all the time in the world to get the peak. Because that's the one that they think has their information on it, right? So now, because that's the one that they think the information's on it, you've already got the peak over here, right? So now you can be like very, very clean. You don't have to touch that. You don't have to go anywhere near it. but you've already got the peak. You've kind of moved everything away. So I never really did much with that. I was kind of thinking you could then go from there into a casting name place style routine. If you had two people taking blank business cards and do the same thing, so they've got two. There's something in that, and then getting the peak back here, but they think their business cards are there. I don't know, but never kind of did much with it, to be perfectly honest. The point is, honestly, don't worry about it too much, because I've never had a problem with it at all. A lot of the time when I use the Orphic wallet, I just have a business card, I put it back in. That's my favourite peak, where I point to their hand, I've got the peak there, it goes in between their hand, job done. So please don't worry about it too much, but yeah, hope that helps. Okay, so the next question is from Robert Labarsky, who says, Dear Craig, big thank you for all the great things you do for Magic. You're more than welcome. You're a big inspiration. Really appreciate that. I would love to know what, in your opinion, is the best card to wallet, including the new Razor card to wallets. I would love to do the effect where I use an extractor 2 and the card ends up in a wallet and maybe in an envelope in a wallet. Another question I have is, from all the trillions of magic effects you've done through the years... Okay, we'll skip that. We'll do that in the next question. So the first question is... What's your best card to wallet? I mean, that's subjective, right? And it changes all the time. I haven't seen the Razor card to wallet. I've been over at Penguin. I asked them to show it me, but they didn't have one. But I have got one on its way. I've picked one up. Why have I? And I've bought it. It's not like Penguin has sent me one. I bought it. Why have I bought it? Because I'm a big Josh Birch fan. I've worked on a couple of Josh's projects over the years. I'm a very big fan of his thinking. I'm a very big fan of Josh in general. So yeah, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. If Josh brings something out, I'm going to buy it. I don't know much about the Razor card to wallet. I can't comment. I will definitely do a review on it. At the moment, with what I know and what I have, and so on and so forth, if you wanted to have an effect where the extractor and the card ends up in a wallet, it depends on whether you want the wallet in view or not at the time. So obviously, for those people that don't know, the Extractor 2.0 by Alakazam, you put the card in the middle of the deck, and you can, as you put the deck away, you can steal it out very, very easily. It's a beautiful gimmick. It's one of the best utility card gimmicks of all time. The easiest way to get it into a wallet is put the card into the extractor deck, put the extractor deck away, palm the card, bring out a wallet, like the Orphic wallet, put it down on the table, have them hold on to this, and done. You kind of done the thing. They put it away in the deck, and it's now able to be shown inside the wallet. That is a great way of doing it. If you want to have the wallet in full view from the beginning, probably the best way to do that is with another Penguin wallet, which is the... is it the Mullica wallet? Yeah, the Mullica wallet, where you've got a wallet inside a wallet. That's great because the wallet can be put down from the very beginning. So you can have that wallet on the table from the very beginning, and you can show inside there as another wallet. Because the load is not done with a palm. The load is done in a different way. Now, you can use a palm, and that's what we're going to do here. So you're going to use the Extractor 2, put the card away, put the deck away, and steal the card in palm. I would probably go into this pocket so I could Gambler's Cop it. Then I'm going to take the wallet that's been on the table from the beginning, load the Gambler's Copped card underneath, open up the wallet. Inside the wallet is another wallet. Inside that wallet is the signed card. And that would be probably my preferred way of doing it. Now, if you are a fan of sleight of hand, I'll give you one more reference that doesn't even use a wallet. And it's a routine from Unexplainable Acts by Gary Kurtz. And he has a nest of envelopes routine, where he has an envelope, and inside in the envelope is an envelope, and inside the envelope is an envelope, and inside is the card. You could use that with the extractor deck, and you could eliminate a lot of the difficult sleight of hand, because how Gary did it is he did it with a longitudinal steel, which I don't think I've got a deck of cards. Yeah, have I got a deck of cards? Have I got a deck of cards? Is this a deck of cards? It might be a deck of cards. Left over from a review show. Yes, it is. So he used it from a longitudinal steel. So he had the card put back here. If you don't know the longitudinal steel, the card gets put back into the deck, apparently, but it's secretly in-jogged. And you have this wonderful display here where you're displaying the cards very, very freely, the ring fingers hiding the in-jog. And then what happens is as you come to the side, you've stolen that into a longitudinal palm. I love longitudinal palming. It's a little bit like jumbo coin manipulation for me. So... yeah, so what used to happen is Gary Kurtz, the envelopes would be on the table the whole time, and Gary would put the card into the deck, no break, show the card as thingy, and then he'd do the longitudinal steel, and he'd take the wallet, the envelope, show it on both sides, and then load the card underneath the envelope. And I did that for years in restaurant work. I need to do that again. But if you eliminate it, you can eliminate all of that by using the extractor deck too. So you could use the extractor deck too, have the card put back in the deck. As you put the deck away, you would palm the card or gambler's cop it. Like, put the deck into this pocket so you can gambler's cop it, and then take the envelope, load it onto the gambler's cop card, and then you could do the Gary Kurtz routine, but eliminating longitudinal steel. And Matthew Wright has an amazing multi card in envelope, where card goes in an envelope and an envelope in an envelope, but that's more of a gimmicked answer to the Gary Kurtz handling. So any of that would work. If you want to use a wallet and you want it on the table from the beginning, I would probably go with the Mullica wallet. Hope that helps. Okay, so we've got another question from Robert Labarski, who says, from all the trillions of magic effects you have done through the years, which one do you think is the best and most magical? That's like asking me to rate my kids. Here's the thing. Generally, as a rule, when I release a trick, it's because I love it. And I'll be honest with you, what's my favourite trick always depends on what I'm working on at the time. And I'm always about a year ahead of you lot, a year and a half ahead of you lot. So Cheetah Chips and Heroes and Villains deck has just come out. And if you'd asked me a year ago, I would have said Heroes and Villains and Cheetah Chips, because I was using it like all of the time. Literally, I would go to gigs. It's kind of weird. When I go to a gig, if I'm really working hard because I know a shoot's coming up, I will literally just go to a gig and take that one prop. Or if I've got 3 or 4 ships. So I've just done a shoot at Penguin Magic. I've done 5 products that I've just filmed tutorials for. For the last 3 months, I've just been using those 5 tricks at gigs and pretty much nothing else, because I want to get really, really good with them so I can explain them and perform them inside out and back to front. And then what happens is, after that, they kind of go into my close-up case, and I'll be using them all the time, but not as much as I would do when I'm coming up to a shoot. So I'm always working a little bit ahead of people. So at the moment, it would be stuff that I'm filming at the moment or coming up soon, which would be the Atomic Deck, it would be the Karate Key, Quarantined, Double Stuffed, stuff like that, Fine Imprints. That's the stuff that I'm kind of, that I've been working in an awful lot recently. I've been doing gigs with just those tricks. But I'd say, what's my favourite of all time? Oh man, it's difficult to say. I'd probably say, I want to say Chop. But I also want to say Empowerment, which is my flipper coins across routine on the very first DVD I bought out. Actually, I also want to say the coin bag, because I think the coin bag stuff that I bought out back in the day was just like next level, and it's only got better over the last 15, 20 years. But Empowerment is something really special. I got a standing ovation at the Magic Circle after doing that. And also I've got the Atomic Deck. It's been getting so many. Right, I'm going to say Chop. If there was one thing that I wanted to kind of sum up my work and the type of magician I am, I think it would be Chop. So let's go with Chop. Chop. There you go. That's your answer. Chop. Okay, the next question is from Divishan Magician, who says, what's your opinion on an app called JustPay for getting gigs? They take 0 commission. JustPay. I have no idea, so let's have a look. JustPay. Right, boom. JustPay. JustPay. Just play, not play. JustPay. JustPay. Here we go. Get booked, get paid. It's free. Let's have a look at what this is. Create a profile. Okay. Find jobs. Get paid. Simply tap request payment within the app when you finish a job to start the payment process. It's that simple. Okay, so how do they get paid? Free to use, no agency for no costs. The price you see is the amount you're paid. So are they going to put a bit on top? I imagine that's what they're going to do. About us. I think they're going to put a bit on top. JustPay. Our CEO is a contractor himself. Okay. Excuse me, sorry about that. Wherever you are, we're here for you. UK-wide, free to use. I imagine they're going to put a commission on top. Somebody wouldn't be doing this just for free. I can't see that happening. I don't think it would be just for free. You wouldn't have developed all of this. Simple payments. Our app enables you to request payment within seconds. Okay, so you get the payments. Build an outstanding profile. Beautifully simple. It covers the entire UK. No agency fees or costs. It sounds too good to be true. It sounds too good to be true. I'm trying to work out what the catch is. Because you see a lot of sites like this. You see a lot, here we go. You see a lot of sites like this. And there's nothing wrong with them. Bar, for example. Nothing wrong with sites like this. When you're marketing yourself as a magician, there's short-term strategies, medium-term strategies, and long-term strategies. And when you're marketing yourself as a magician, the most important thing is to get gigs, right? The more gigs you get, the more turnover you're getting. The more turnover you're getting, the more profit you're making. The more profit you're making, well, the better your business is, right? So it's all about generating leads, right? And a long-term strategy would be stuff like networking. It would be stuff like building up a relationship with venues. It would be stuff like SEO. SEO is a perfect example of long-term marketing. You know, like you're doing it day in, day out, but over the long term, it's gonna be really beneficial for you, because if you get your SEO right, you can appear page one of Google. But it's not going to happen overnight. And long term is great, but when you first start your business, you need short term marketing. You need gigs in. You need inquiries in. So you need a method of generating gigs straight away. Now, pay-per-click is a great way of doing that. Google AdWords, pay-per-click, is a great way of doing that. But obviously, you're going to spend money. You're going to be bidding against other people. It can cost a lot of money to generate those inquiries. Wedding fairs are another great example of something that you can do short-term. You know, you go to a wedding fair, you might get booking straight away. Bark, things like this. That's a great way to generate short-term bookings, because they're doing all the marketing for you. So you're just going in there, you're seeing something, you're quoting for it. Now, how most of these sites work is you pay for credits. So you pay for credits, and you're competing against other people that pay for credits, and you only bid on the jobs that you want. And it can sometimes be a race to the bottom. So I'm trying to find out what the catch is. Payment requests. How do do I download? In terms of making it so you can see more. How do I delete that? I don't understand whose jobs are these? These are jobs posted by clients who make up the UK's largest pub companies. When will I hear back from JustPay? If a job application is successful, you'll receive a job offer by push notification. A mobile app shows an okay. Why can't I apply for all jobs? Okay. How can I find suitable jobs to apply for? I'll need to look into this, because this seems too good to be true. But they are saying here that these are jobs posted by our clients who make up the UK's largest pub companies. So maybe this is somebody who's almost like an entertainment agency. They've got a contract with pub companies and they've set up this website. I don't know. I'd need to look into it. I've never heard of it before. So if you're not paying out any money, I don't see any harm in trying it, to be honest, Divishan. It looks like it's a great way to get those short-term leads. Which is really important, especially when you're first starting off. But remember, this is the biggest piece of advice I can give you. It's not just about short-term leads. It's also about long-term marketing strategy. Don't just do the stuff that gets the gigs in now. Do the stuff that's going to mean that you pay less on getting the gigs. You know, as you improve your SEO and you improve other aspects of your business, you'll have to pay less on PPC. You can pay less on stuff like this because there's other things that you're doing that is generating even more work. But for now, try it. I'll look into it. I'll get back to you. But as far as I can see, it looks pretty good. Okay, so Andy's Divishan's got one more question, which is, do you do Mr. Fogg by Tom Stone? No, I don't. No, not heard of it. I've probably got it in one of Tom's books, but I don't remember what Mr. Fogg is. Perhaps you can tell me which book it's in, and I'll look it up. Okay, so the next question is from Andy Putt, who says, "Hey Craig, hey Andy, hope you're well. First of all, I want to thank you again for helping with my project. You're more than welcome. I had a no from Alakazam, so I tried to work with Magic Dream because the password project inspiration, and also had a brutally honest no. It will stay a project for my personal use now, but thank you for taking time, listening, thinking, and helping with the project. You didn't need to do that, but you did, and I appreciate it. You're more than welcome. But don't give up. Never give up. You've had a no from a couple of people. That's fine. Refine it. Try to go for feedback. Ask them for feedback. Ask them why they don't think it's a good project. And when they tell you, then what you're going to do is you're going to turn that around and you're going to fix that problem and you're going to get back. Okay? So don't just give up. Promise me you're not going to give up. Okay, so next question from Andy Putt. When will the Craig Petty Christmas Jingle All the Way trilogy be completed with the release of the third project? I'm structuring my sets for Christmas and hope to perform it also in one of them. Right, okay, so you're talking about 2 years ago I released Elf. Last year I released Christmas cards. This year, what's my Christmas trick? It ain't happening. We were going to do something, but I just ran out of time and I didn't want to half-ass something. I didn't want to put something out there that wasn't ready. So I kind of look at toys as the unofficial third part of the trilogy because it kind of feels very Christmassy. Like, you'd have a catalogue with toys in it if you were shopping for Christmas. So I kind of think of toys as the unofficial third Christmas trick this year. But I will be back next year. I am determined to be the Jamie Dawes of Alakazam, but instead of Halloween, Christmas. So I will be back next year with the Christmas trick. I'll be more organised. It's just I had a lot going on and I didn't want to rush anything to market. I never want to rush anything to market. So it will be coming, but not right now. Okay, next question again is from Andy Putt, who says, what do you think of the Black Friday sales so far? I've used the sales for good without going bankrupt. Are you looking for a good deal on something? For me, I hope Nightshade gets the nice deal, maybe from Alakazam Hourly Lives on Friday. I've spent way too much money on Penguin Magic. I bought a load of stuff from Penguin Magic because I love their deal. Vanishing Ink, no. But they have sent me a couple of their new releases for review, which I'm going to be getting onto this weekend. So I would have bought all of the Vanishing Ink new releases if they haven't sent them to me. But let's not tell Andy and Josh that. Shh, keep it on. I've bought some stuff from Bon Lee, but that's mainly for Ryland, and they've got a good sale on. Bought some stuff from TCC, and that's mainly for me and Ryland to review, but I've bought some stuff from TCC. Outside of that, and I've bought some stuff from Alakazam as well. Outside of that, I don't think I've really picked up much. There's a couple of things that I'm considering maybe I've got my eyes on. I'm filming this. It's not the Friday yet. It's the Wednesday. So I've still got time. But I've definitely spent too much money on Black Friday. I think I'm going to stop for a bit now. But there's a lot of good stuff that's come out this year. Obviously, Cheetah Chips is the best release that's come out this Black Friday. I'm biased, but that's what I think. Okay, so Mike Murrian says, happy holidays to you and your family. I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you. To anybody in America, happy Thanksgiving. When I was over at Penguin, Penguin had their Thanksgiving dinner for all of their staff, and I was invited to that, and that was really cool. I've never been to a Thanksgiving dinner before, so I know it happened the week before Thanksgiving, but that was, of course, they were going to be with their families at Thanksgiving, so I got to hang out with the Penguin crew. I love the Penguin guys, and I've never eaten so much turkey and mashed potato in my life, and I have a massive appreciation for now anything Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to all of my friends over in America. Okay, next question is from Archie Cox, who says, hi Craig. Hey Archie. Congrats on the release of Heroes and Villains. This could possibly be your best release of the year. Fingers crossed. I love Heroes and Villains. I am so excited. Me too. You've released so many amazing decks of cards that aren't decks of cards, and they're all amazing. But if you can only choose one for the rest of your career, what would you choose? Focus. It's coming out in December from Murphy's Magic, and I'm not just saying that. It's because it deals with a subject matter that is probably the closest subject matter to my heart. The Evoke deck is amazing, and I love it. But it's designed more for a mentalist than me. I'm a comedy magician, and I love using it, and I will always use it. But if we're talking about the best deck, in my opinion, like Mindbox is amazing. The Heroes and Villains deck is probably up there because I love the concept of heroes and villains. But for me, it's a trick called Focus, which is coming out in December from Murphy's Magic. I love Focus. It deals with film. And I spent a lot of time, and I spent a year developing that. When people see it, I think they'll realise it's very special. Lloyd Barnes summed it up perfectly. He said, I can't do a Welsh accent. I can't do a Welsh accent. But Lloyd said, it's like Evoke, but fun. And I understand where he's coming from, because Evoke is very, emotional. It gets people to cry. Well, this is the same sort of thing as Evoke, but fun. I can't wait for people to see the trailer. So in answer to your question, Archie, I'll probably say Focus, very closely followed by Heroes and Villains, and then probably Mind Blocks, I would say. Okay, we've got one more question from Archie Cox, who says, another question. There are so many great tricks that are card predictions, invisible deck, any card. Do you think there is a purpose in performing tricks like sorry, I don't want people to hate me because I've pronounced it slightly wrong, or 8-card brainwave, as you're only choosing from a small packet of cards with them, rather than a card in a deck, which should be more impressive, but there seems to get good reactions. Thanks as always. I understand where you're coming from, but I think sometimes less is more. Like one of my favourite tricks of all time is Twisted Sisters by John Bannon. And when I do Twisted Sisters, I absolutely get such a killer reaction from it, because the presentation is so tight. It doesn't feel like a 1 in 4 chance, which in essence it is. It feels like an awful lot more. And it's the same with Wave. It's the same with 8-card brainwave. And the other thing with 8-card brainwave is you can adapt it to so many different things. I know I joke with Wayne Goodman, but Wayne's got about 4,337,297 handlings of 8-card brainwave. And they're great. He's got a Christmas themed one. He's got a Halloween themed one. He's got a joke themed one. There's so many different themes. And you can't really do that with a deck of cards, but you can do that with an 8-card brainwave. So I love 8-card brainwave. I really do. I love Wave. I'm never going to stop performing routines like that. In fact, I was at a gig last week and I made a custom 8-card brainwave up for a client, and it was for a very specific thing that they wanted me to do. So I think they've got their place. I agree that if you're going to go in and do one thing and you've got one chance to impress somebody, you might want to do a full deck instead, but I think they've definitely got their place in a performer's repertoire. Okay, so the next question is from Magigaya, who says, are you doing the get-together at the House of Secrets before Blackpool this year? And the answer is yes. You can book on right now on the House of Secrets website. It always sells out every single year. Tickets are always, we always have to turn people away. It's always the best get-together. It's a great way to start Blackpool. And me and Lloyd always started it because we wanted people who were new to Blackpool or nervous to meet other people. It's a great friendly environment to get to meet people that you can then hang out with through the rest of Blackpool and the rest of the convention. It's going to be amazing this year, and I've got something special lined up for the House of Secrets meetup. So yes, it's definitely happening. It's at the House of Secrets, and tickets are available now on the House of Secrets website. So go and get them. You can get to hang out with me and everyone else. Lloyd will be there this year. So will Jake Keane and a bunch of other people. So come on down. It'll be great to see you. Magic Elliot says, hi Craig, have you checked out any of the Tenyo 2025 range? Any thoughts on any of them? I have them on order as part of my big Black Friday order from Penguin Magic. I ordered all the Tenyo stuff. So I haven't seen it yet. It's coming in 2 days' time, according to FedEx. So as soon as it arrives on my doorstep, I will be looking. I'll probably do a Tenyo review show special. So look out for that. I purposefully haven't seen any trailers. I wanted to be completely surprised. So I don't know anything about the range, but I know I've just ordered them all. So I will let you know. Keep watching Magic TV, and I will keep you updated. Okay, so the next question is from Michael Warsham, who says, hi Craig, how exactly are we supposed to get our questions over to you? Thanks for another Q&A. 3 options. If you want them answered in a Q&A like this, drop them down below, and I'll get to them for the next week. Just put them as a comment on this video that you're watching right now. 2, if you're a member of the Netrix, silver or gold, you can come to the VMCs. 1 VMC a month is always a Q&A, where you get to hang out with me and I'll answer questions live, and they typically go on forever, which is great. If you want a personal thing, if you want to, ask me a question, and you don't want to do it publicly on the Netrix or on Magic TV, then just send me an email, craig@magictv.org, loop in info@magictv.org, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so the next question is from Punkalo, who says, "Hi Craig, following on from the deck switch question, I get your point that switching the deck in your pocket is the best way, but here's my problem. I don't wear clothes that allow me to do that. I never wear a hoodie, and my pants either have no pockets or tight jeans that cannot really hold a whole deck. As I perform for my friends and family, it'd be strange if I suddenly wore different clothes. This is why I'm looking for other ways of switching decks. I've seen some sleight of hand techniques, but nothing substantial. I agree that the deck switching gimmicks don't really do it for me either." Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one. I mean, out of all the deck switching gimmicks, I think the best one is the cooler. I think the cooler is amazing by Christian Emblem. Or go and buy Blizzard from Penguin Magic. Because you'll learn how Dean Dill switches the deck. And although Dean Dill uses it for Blizzard, you can then take that gimmick that you will receive with Blizzard, and you can take that concept and you can apply it to anything, and the deck switch happens right in full view of the audience. Now, the other way you can do it, if anybody's got my Cheeky project, you'll know that on the Cheeky project, I talk about how you can do a half a deck switch. So, for example, let's say that you want to switch in a deck that ends up being a blank deck, right? But half of the cards... So you don't want to switch the whole deck. You can have a deck where there's 26 blank cards, 26 regular cards. You're getting somebody to pick a card and they pick from one of the regular ones. And then you put, you do a routine or something that only involves half of the deck. Half of the deck is cut onto the table. Maybe you get somebody to shuffle those or wash them. You've only got half the deck to switch then, right? And because you've only got half the deck to switch, maybe it can fit into your pocket in your tight jeans because it's only half a deck. And that can happen as something is happening over here. You structure the routine. If you've got the Cheeky project, I actually use this. You can see an example of me doing this. And then, so you've only switched in half a deck, but at the end, every single card's turned blank because half the deck was switched in at the beginning. So that might be an option as well. But if you were going to go purely for a deck switch on the table, I'd go through either the Blizzard method or the cooler. Okay, so the next question is from Magic Trades, who says, "Hi Craig, hey. On the Magic Cafe, I saw a few people replying to Austin Murphy about bringing out the L&L collection in DVD sets or even as a streaming platform. Personally, I think this would be outstanding, so I thought I'd bring it up if you wanted to add a few comments." I think that's an amazing idea. Austin, sort yourself out. Genuinely, Murphys have the rights to the whole L&L range. Why we are not doing something with this, I don't know. I know that Alakazam have the rights to show some of the stuff on Alakazam Unlimited, which is amazing, and just another reason why you should join Alakazam Unlimited, but they've not got everything. I do think that we need to have some sort of streaming platform for all of the Murphy, for all of the L&L stuff, or bring out like big projects of them. Now they've been doing that a little bit with some of the rope magic and some of the coin magic from David Roth, but there's a lot more that they could do with that. So yeah, Austin, if you're listening, sort yourself out. Your company has the rights to all the L&L DVDs. Get it to the public. The public want it. The Magic community want what you've got. Bring it on. Okay, another question from Magic Trades, who says, "Do you know why some Magic apps are only designed for Apple and not Android?" It's just because Apple is easier to code on. I interviewed Mark Kirstein a couple of years ago. Go back and look at that interview with Mark Kirstein on Magic TV, or check it out on the Talk Magic podcast on Spotify. I asked him that exact question, and he said, well, honestly, Apple make it very, very easy to do apps, why Android make it very, very difficult. And I can't remember the exact answer, but that was basically the crux of it. It was basically, it's far easier and far more user-friendly to do what he needs to do with Apple than it is Android. It's why so many people use Apple and not Android. And also, I think there's more magicians that use Apple than Android as well. So that's probably the reason. But if you go back and look at the Mark Kirstein interview, he's way more qualified to answer that question, and he gives a very, very detailed answer. Okay, so the next question is Corner Eagle says, "Hey Craig, thanks for doing these Q&As. Hope they'll stick on the schedule. Question, how do you feel about marketed effects with multiple outs only showing the optimal out in the trailers and live performances? Personally, I feel like you can't make an informed decision without seeing all the ways a trick can go if a trick's designed to rely on multiple outs." You can argue that. As a business person who releases magic, I think it's very, very difficult. It's difficult, isn't it? I understand. Like, you're talking to someone who exposes every single trick they bring out. So my attitude on this is very, very different to a lot of people's attitudes. because my attitude. I know when I brought out Petty Cash, which is a multiple out trick, I showed, the trailer didn't show all 3 outs, but I did an exposure video showing all 3 outs. Because the whole point of Petty Cash is that all 3 of the outs are designed to make people think you're using multiple outs and then show them that you're not actually using multiple outs. So, and I wanted to show people that that actually is a fact. So that's why I did the exposure video. And interestingly, there were more sales for the product when I actually exposed it and showed how it works than when the trailer came out. It's kind of interesting. I can understand why magic companies don't do it. They've invested a lot of time and effort, money into a trick, and it's counterproductive for them to basically just show all of the outs. I don't think they're being dishonest at all by any stretch of the imagination. I think they're trying to do what magic companies have done forever, which is hide the secret. And there are cases, I do agree, that there are tricks where the out isn't as good. One out isn't as good as the other. Low-Key by Adam Dadswell, for example, which has just come out from Malakazam, I genuinely think that every out is as good. Having seen it and worked it, I think that all 3 of the outs are as good as each other. So in that scenario, you could argue, well, you're only seeing 1 out, but they're all as good as each other. But, if people know it's a multiple out trick, you could also argue, why would you not show people all the different... It's difficult. I understand it from a business point of view, but I also understand it from a creator's point of view. I also understand it from an end user's point of view. From my point of view, if I brought out a multiple out trick again, and I don't have one on the horizon, I would expose it 100%, just like I do with every single one of my tricks. And it's funny that people go, oh, Craig's not going to expose this one. And then I do. And I just, I've started doing that with every single trick. And it's because I want to be honest with you guys and show people exactly what the method is, so you know exactly what you're buying. Now, not everyone chooses to do that, and that's absolutely fine. I understand it's a bit of a weird thing to do, and it kind of flies against tradition when it comes to magic marketing. I personally think that's the best way to go. So, I've kind of gone around the reek in there. Take it for what you will. I understand why magic companies do it, but generally I think it'd be better if they were 100% honest. I don't think they're being dishonest, but I think it'd be better if they were more open. Okay, so the next question is from Yuri, who says, hi, Craig. Thanks so much for answering my questions and for the things you do for this community. You're more than welcome. I know a lot of people have said it, but I really appreciate all you do, and you're truly one of the best magic mentors out there. Thank you so much, Yuri. Your question, I wanted to learn more about the wonderful world of metal bending. So I was wondering what you consider to be the best sources for metal bending, books, DVDs or downloads, and I was wondering if you'd do something about metal bending on the Netrix. Yes, I'm not going to answer that here because in January, I'm bringing out 2 things. First of all, I've got a video coming up on Magic TV, the best metal bending tricks of all time, including live performances of every single one of those tricks by me. Excuse me. And then I've got a whole section going up on the Netrix to do with metal bending. So I'm not going to kind of shoot my load on this. I will tell you my favourite trick is liquid metal, but I would also, there's so many other things that are great as well. I love the Sankey spoon bend, which he combines with Out to Lunch. I think that's great, and the handkerchief bend is really good. I very much like, I was one of the few people that liked Bionic by David Penn. I know a lot of people didn't like that, but I actually liked Bionic by David Penn. I also think David Penn's subtlety for the liquid metal routine is amazing. If you don't know where he does the first time bend, I think that's brilliant. The John Archer metal bending routine from Educating Archer is really good. And obviously, look, I'm not good. I'm getting into it now, and I wasn't meant to. Look, I'm going to leave it until January. If you do one metal bending routine, do liquid metal. But outside of that, I will elaborate more very, very short. Okay, so the next question is, what would you consider to be the most underrated trick stroke release this year? A trick, a book, or a download that flew over everyone's head, but something that's absolutely killer. That would be a good video. I normally do the 10 best tricks of all time, of the year. I normally do the 10 worst tricks of the year. What about the 10 tricks that people have overlooked? The 10 best tricks that people have overlooked? I think that would be really good. I think that would be great. You leave it with me. leave it with me. I'm going to add that to my Christmas lineup. I don't want to just like make an assumption on this on the spur of the moment, because there's a lot of tricks that I can think of that I think have been overlooked, and I want to think about which ones are the best. Yeah, leave it with me. Leave it with me, and I will do a top 10 most overlooked tricks, and I'll have that come out at Christmas. And it's coming out at Christmas because of you, Yuri, so thank you for that. Okay, I just have to shout out that one of the best magic reviewers of all time, Magic Orthodoxy, has just put in here, amazing show. And I'm just going to put you the man in a second. Thank you, man. Thank you, David. I really appreciate it. Everyone's subscribed to Magic Orthodoxy if you haven't already done so. I love that guy. He is a legend in this community and literally a global treasure. Okay, this next question, I've just read it, and I've read the reply, and it's going to feel like copying, but it's really not. Adrian Suter said, "Hi Craig, which magic tricks do you consider real pieces of art, although they may not get the craziest over-the-top reactions? Like, in my opinion, Sean Farquhar's Shape of the Heart routine. There must be other such tricks around." And Hankster has replied and said, "I would say Starkle by Dan Harlan and On Edge by Angelo Carbone." And I completely agree. Those are the two that popped into my head. Starkle and On Edge are definitely two that I would consider to be works of art. I will throw one more into the mix as well, which is the Benson Burner routine by Tom Stone. I think the Benson Burner routine would definitely I consider that to be real pieces of art. If you watch Tom perform that, the subtleties, my God, it's just amazing. And as we're talking about Sean Farquhar which, as well, you say Sean Farquhar shaped art. I'm not going to get into that because I'm friends with Russ Stevens and Sean Farquhar, so I'm not getting into that at all. But, I would also consider the clear cups and balls is just phenomenal, I think. And you know what? I'm going to throw one more into the mix. I keep thinking of these. Sands of the Desert. Me and Ryland have been working on a Sands of the Desert routine for him, and I love Sands of the Desert. So I'd say Sands of the Desert as well. Okay, so the final question today is from Stephen Devereaux, who says, "Hi Craig, hope you're well. Will you still be doing the Mac test? Really love it." Yeah, we are. We're still doing the Mac test. Mac's not going anywhere, don't worry. I know he's not been on Magic TV for a couple of weeks, but the main reason is I've been incredibly busy. I've been at Penguin, and before that, I was running around the country. Like, it's just insane. Tomorrow I'm in the office all day. Then I've got a gig in the evening, a close-up job. Then me and Matt and Ryland are off to Scotland to do a gig. Then we're staying over in Carlisle. Then I'm back doing a close-up job. And Matt's got an illusion show. Then on Monday I'm doing one-to-ones in the Netrix all day. Then Tuesday I've got a gig. Wednesday I've got a gig. Thursday, it's just mad at the moment. So me and Matt aren't finding time to get together. We're going to try and do a couple of Mac tests at some point. But with everything being so busy in the office, and as I said earlier, we've got some staffing issues, that on top of everything else that's been going on, it's hard to find the time, which is why I'm filming a lot of this stuff here instead of in the office, because here I can kind of stay up until the middle of the night doing it. Well, I can't do that in the office. So I'm kind of pushed at the moment, to be perfectly honest. But yes, the Mac test's not going anywhere. We'll be back. So there you go, guys. That's another video in the bag. That's another Q&A in the bag. Thank you once again for joining me right here on Magic TV. Now, don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already done so, still pick up my new Penguin releases. Cheetah Chips and Heroes and Villains. I'm so proud of them. I'll be talking more about that next week, probably. And if you haven't already done so, join the Netrix. www.thenetrix.com. It's my online streaming platform for magicians, and it's available to join immediately. New stuff going up from there all the time. But from the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining me on this week's Q&A. Don't forget, we've got a review show special tonight. We've got lots of Talk Magics coming up. There's a lot happening on Magic TV. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig. Thank you for joining me. This is the Q&A right here on Magic TV.